So this is going to be part 10, I guess a summary of everything, because I realize who's going to watch all this. There needs to be a summary, and if you want to see what I'm saying, go back through the videos and see my proof of things happening and such. Okay? And there's so much to say that I just gave myself a big, long thing to basically read off to guide me, or else I'm going to go on tangents if I don't have this set up. Okay, so long ago, I get baptized because I determined Christianity is what I'm going to believe the rest of my life. But I'm concerned that I'm brainwashed into religion, so I ask for God a period of my life where I get unbrainwashed and then come to Him by myself, like on my own terms. So, yeah, I ask for a come to God moment when I pray for that, and I ask for a testimony that is so crazy that the story itself could be used to minister to people. And somehow I wanted proof of all of it so people wouldn't think I'm lying. Okay, so after a few years, I stray from God, and for 6 years, I don't know what to believe anymore, but I'm open to anything. Um, uh, I know I do realize there is some supernatural force acting in the world, but I can't tell if it's a slight telepathic ability we all have that connects mankind or possibly all life on the planet as one consciousness slightly, or if it's God or if it's both. So, in search for my answer, I set up an experiment to figure out what's actually going on. When I do this experiment, people start just coming out of the woodwork telling me about Jesus. And I noticed this. So I stopped the experiment. The experiment proves absolutely nothing. The results just meant nothing. I stopped the experiment to see if people would stop telling me about Jesus, and it seems to be a correlation. I plan on doing the experiment again, living in isolation in the mountains on the other side of the country, where I want to move away to anyway. So then, side story, because that never happens. I get lonely and I notice I'm doing more dangerous stuff without realizing it, because that's just what happens when I am lonely and I do not have a girl to simply be friends with. Um, I find myself riding motorcycles more aggressively than I should, and I start climbing things higher than I should also. So I look for a girl to be friends with all summer. And eventually, I'm getting desperate to find a friend, so I make a Facebook dating profile to try to find a girl to be friends with. While I'm at it, I just kind of imagine, well, what would my dream girl be like, and where would she live? And I come up with a spot and all these traits. And I also, at the same time, I realize if I could find a girl with even just a few of those traits, I wouldn't want to move across the country. In fact, I don't even think I really do want to move across the country because I like it so much in my hometown. So I set a Facebook dating app, or yeah, the Facebook dating app only allows you to set your location to to where you currently are, so you can't lie about your location. Well, I set that location only 2 miles off from where this girl lives when I do that. And then a few weeks later, I figure out, that girl I imagined, she actually exists only a few hundred feet off from where I imagined. Which is perfectly fine because me being a few hundred feet off, she built her house in a spot that was better than I had imagined. So that's fine, being a few hundred feet off. She describes what she's looking for in a guy, and she basically describes me. We go on a date, and it seems pretty much perfect, pretty much. But it still seems so perfect that I predict something really bad is about gonna happen. Like, I sensed it. And, one tiny thing, not that bad. She threatens to shoot me jokingly for climbing her roof, and I think she is serious because of past experiences, which you can go to the other video, see why I thought that. And I gain a fear of heights. Then we go for a motorcycle, and I crash in a turn. And she gets hurt and doesn't want to talk to me again, and because of that, I have the ability to gain a fear of riding motorcycles aggressively. Keep in mind, the original reason I was trying to find a girl to be friends with because I was starting to ride too aggressively and I was starting to climb things too high, and I was expecting a temporary solution, and instead I find a permanent one. um, then after the crash, a song perfectly describes the situation, and it's the first song I listened to after the crash, and the song was also just made at that point, which points to something acting outside of time, and the song even almost points to things happening outside of time, and it perfectly describes the situation. So because of this, I have a come to God moment, and I document it as soon as it happens, which is exactly what I prayed for. And then the song makes me realize I had a vision of the crash a few weeks prior, maybe, or 2 months prior. Yeah, 2 months prior. I had a vision of the crash, which again, yeah, something acting outside of time. This is not coincidence, clearly. And then I'm like searching, okay, God, what do I do next? And come to figure out the online church that she watches tells me exactly what I need to hear week by week, so accurately that I even predict what one of the sermon messages are going to be about before it happens. And so, yeah, now I have a crazy testimony that seems to prove God, and I have evidence of it all, just like I asked for. So much has happened. I can make content about this situation for probably years, it feels like. It's been 4 months since the crash, and she still won't even talk to me, so I'm just here like, God, this was horrible, but it was worth it because he answered that prayer, and I actually even kind of remember God giving me a warning that this was not going to be easy. And here I am. I hope I can be friends with her soon, someday. I think God's been telling me that's only going to happen when I'm ready. So, hope I'm ready soon.